Hello, welcome to the channel. Now we are in a little bit of a different scene today because the neighbour's playing the flute very loudly and I thought that might get distracting. Today I wanted to talk to you about AEW, and it's a new year, new me kind of vibe over there. Just like everyone at the start of the year, they want to take on a bit of a rebrand, if you like. People are going out, eating, drinking healthily, and AEW have decided to change up things from their point of view. Now, what does that look like? Now, we've obviously got a brand new stage and set design. And I've heard some rumblings online that some people kind of think it's okay, but no one's blown away by it. And I think that's for a couple of reasons. I think as wrestling fans, we all like big sets, big set designs, practical sets. So the SmackDown Fist always comes up. Everyone's always talking about the SmackDown Fist. I've seen loads of memes of that becoming all elite and things in the build up to this once we knew the set was changing at the start of the year. But that's not what we've got. We've not got anything practical. It's very much a digital set. Now, it's practical from a different point of view, which is what I want to get into and why this is a good thing. So we've now got very big LED screens. I know there's a lot of talk, it's very much like the Fed, but what this is for is the practicalities and logistics of moving a set around the world. For moving from state to state, going across the country, going into different markets. As someone here in England, very much looking forward to AEW coming over here and putting on a show. And I think moving into different markets is key for AEW this year. I think last year we saw it. They'd squeezed certain markets dry. So when they kept revisiting the same town, that magical AEW atmosphere that we all know and love and all want to see on a weekly basis was drying up. If you visit the same place over and over again, that magic isn't there. Whereas you go to a town, a city that is starved of AEW, they've not been there before, they've only been there a couple of times, people are ready and raring to go. And I think this is what that set's going to help them achieve. Because the big chandeliers, those big sets, yes, as much as we'll look back on that very, very fondly, I know I'm a huge fan of that set, it's not as practical to move around as some big screens, which they can get in back of big vans, drive all around the world, fly over, this kind of thing, get them on ships. Whatever they need to do, they can do it much easier than big sets, big physical sets. These screens can go around, they can do a lot of things with them. And I think that's the key thing here. That's what we're looking at. And not only are we looking at them going around, being in fresh markets, having that atmosphere that we want on a weekly basis, we've also got Michael Manchuri, depending on if you're his friend or not, who's come over from WWE. He was head of global production and basically in line for Kevin Dunn's throne in terms of production stuff. That's a huge get for AEW. Now, he had left WWE. Apparently, it's because he knew the writing was on the wall. Kevin Dunn's not going anywhere. He absolutely loves his job. He's not leaving that position anytime soon. So he was never really going to get his hands on it from a creative point of view, from a production standpoint, and put his spin on it. He went over and did some work in different guises in MMA. He has now come over to AEW, and that's a huge deal because I think as much as we all love AEW here, they have had their production issues, mainly with sound. And you could instantly see already this week on Dynamite, it was better. Now, the sound, we all had that moment, and it was a bit of a lol WCW moment when the mic didn't work for Moxley, at least in the arena. But you could see some of the shots, and especially if you look at the Ricky Starks match, where there was interference, the cameras were there much quicker to get better angles, to get it clearer. Now, I like lingering shots. I like it staying focused on certain things. I think the New Japan way of shooting things is great. Lingers on things, lets the wrestling flow. You can see it almost as if you're there. It doesn't necessarily work for TV matches that are a bit shorter. There's a bit more shenanigans going on, and you really want to pinpoint something that's happening in the action. And I think this is where Mike Manchuri is really going to help AEW, because you've seen it in the past. The production value of AEW, despite the great in-ring work, is not the level of a WWE, for example. And I think this change is going to help that value, as well as the new set being able to go to new markets. We look at the lighting here, the crowd, it's much lighter. You can see them, you can feel them, and the emphasis is on that crowd. We got lots more shots of the crowd, sweeping shots. It looked packed. It looked like a place you want to go. So when they bring that new set to your town, you will be buzzing to be there. I know I will when I come to England. What do you guys think? Do you like the new set? Do you hate it? What do you think it's going to be like moving forward? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching. German suplex.